But these are Russell's words. Here is a brief overview of me. I was born with a genetic eye condition, which is a form of macular degeneration that affects the central vision. I started to lose my sight in my early teenage years, making my life at secondary school very challenging. Struggling to read textbooks and reading blackboards was impossible. Having to particularly put my nose to the page to read, it made me the obvious target for a lot of jokes. I managed to get through my GCSEs with reasonably good grades and started my A-levels, but it was at this time that my friends started driving. Having always been into cars, I couldn't wait to be able to drive as well. This was when it hit home. I would never be normal. This was a very tough time. I honestly thought there was no long-term future for me in any workplace and with no chance of career, so what's the point of education? I dropped out of school and got a part-time job stacking shelves. Having always been told by my career advisors at school and my eye hospital consultant, if I was ever lucky enough to find employment, stick with it, because you will struggle to ever find work in the first place, I did exactly that. So, 19 years later, after small steps up the corporate ladder with the same employer, I was made redundant and my whole life was turned upside down. The little confidence I had was knocked straight out of me. I applied for countless jobs with no luck, not even an interview for 5 months, even the basic entry-level retail jobs which I had vast experience in. Feeling useless and with mounting pressure of mortgage payments looming ever closer, I really thought I could never work again and so had no future ahead of me other than one on benefits. Realising how low I was becoming, my wife suggested I go to our local sight loss charity and do some volunteering. This was the moment my life changed for the better. SBW accepted me into their organisation, volunteering in the equipment centre 2 mornings a week. This gave me something to focus all my energy towards. I quickly felt at home and gained a real feeling of worth again. Helping to deliver the much-needed frontline service to other VI people struggling to cope with their sight loss, I soon realised this was the sector I wanted to work in. I went out of my way to be involved in as much as I could within the organisation. This eventually led to a paid employment 1 day a week managing their database. The behind-the-scenes subtext to this is that as I took over as chairman of trustees, I was very keen that we get our computers sorted out and that we get a decent database. So after a fair bit of research, we adopted a front-running database, which Russell picked up very quickly and really took to. SBW introduced me to a new group of friends, all with varying degrees of sight loss. This interaction with others in similar situations to yourself is, as strange as it may seem, a real confidence booster. It made me realise there's no point trying to hide from the fact you are visually impaired, something I'd always tried to cover up for fear of ridicule. So where am I now? Almost 2 years since I was made redundant, thinking my working life had come to an end, thanks to the confidence I gained through the support and guidance of SBW, I'm now working for a national sight loss charity in London. Commuting to Euston and travelling across the capital alone, sometimes something I never had the confidence to do in my life. I have the opportunity to have a career I never thought I would have. I owe it all to the good work done by SBW, and I'm really proud to be part of their team here and have the opportunity to help others in my situation. Russell.